Hi, Amimbola. Let's take a look at this set of essays you've sent. All right, when you're doing these, it's really helpful to include the image of the graph so that I can refer to it, okay? All right, let's see. The bar graph illustrates the rate at which 8 European countries they purchased brown and black leather shoes in the year 2018. And I don't even believe it's the rate, because the rate implies speed, and that's not what you're saying. You're saying basically the number of shoes purchased, okay? So, overall brown leather shoes were, past tense, popular in 5 countries, comma, namely France, Germany, Ireland, Holland, and Poland, while the highest number of users, no, people didn't use brown leather shoes, while Poland purchased the greatest number with about 135,000, because if you look at the graph, it does say that these numbers are in thousands. The Polish people were closely followed by Hungary and Germany, no, with approximately 130,000 and 125,000 respectively. Full stop. Well, all right, fine. Yeah, no, full stop. You could have said here, on the other hand, the Irish and the Italians were on the same level. That's a little awkward. It's not really appropriate task 1 language. You could have just said the Irish and the Italians had similar figures of 100 and 110 respectively. Again, it's thousands. Okay, you can't use a comma after although. It goes later. Although brown leather shoes in France, Holland, and the UK were more than the black shoes, they were all below 100. I have no idea what that means. Okay, I don't understand why all of a sudden we're talking about black leather shoes here. This comparison is really confusing to me. Meanwhile, the lowest of the brown-colored shoes was in Belgium, where it was insignificantly above 10. That's awkward, insignificantly. You could have said something else. You could have said where it was a negligible 10,000. Okay? There's one more thing I want to mention about earlier on, but let's talk about it later. On the other hand, citizens of the UK, Belgium, Hungary, and Italy favored black leather shoes more than brown leather shoes. Hungary, get rid of the had, the highest number at 140,000. Italy had 120,000, and Belgium, okay, this is grammatically wrong. Your and should have gone before UK. All the other countries were below 100, starting from Germany and Ireland with an equal number of users to what? Starting from Germany to Holland, Poland, Holland, and Ireland. Okay, all right, fine. In conclusion, the 4 countries favored brown leather shoes, and the other 4 countries equally preferred black-colored leather shoes. Back-colored, you wrote here. No, just say black leather shoes. I don't know what that means. The 4 countries equally preferred black. I don't know what that means. I really don't. The thing that I wanted to mention to you earlier was that this word here, overall, obviously the reader assumes that this is your overview. This is not an appropriate overview because of all the data here. You have this 135 users, but then you have a conclusion. So it's kind of like, okay, well, which is the overview? For your sake, I'll say this is, honestly, neither one of these overviews help you, because this has data and an overview is not supposed to have data. It's just supposed to focus on the main trend that you can see. And this one doesn't help you because it's incoherent. All right, so both of these overviews are problematic. All of your data is incorrect. It's inaccurate. This was all in the thousands. So every number should have had 3 zeros after it. Okay. What else? There was a lot of awkwardness in the language. There was a lot of inappropriate task 1 language as well. So that's some other stuff that I want you to think about. Not the strongest task 1 I've seen. So let's work on it a little bit, okay? Let's move on to your task 2 here, which is about the Olympics. Okay, so let's move on to this now. A number of people assume that the Olympic Games is no longer valuable in this century. The Olympics is a competitive sporting event that united countries and sports professionals. The value and the purpose of these sporting activities are still fresh and interesting, like when it first started. Most countries and professional sportsmen and women still look forward to these regular events with high expectations. Hosting the Olympics can be highly demanding and expensive for the host country initially, but there are some benefits also for the host country economically. I therefore disagree with the idea that the Olympics is no longer important in the 21st century. Okay, this is really far too long for an introduction. I was just like, is this your introductory paragraph? Is this your body paragraph? There was just far too much information. Your introductory paragraph needs to have just an introduction, a brief statement to introduce the topic. You have to then somehow rephrase the dilemma, the question, the issue which is at hand, and then you have to answer the question saying what your position is. Whatever your answer to that question is, you have to provide it in your introduction. Here, you just, you really just continued for far longer, and that was inappropriate, okay? So, I would have taken out a lot of this. I would have tried to keep this from anywhere from 3 to 4 sentences max. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences what you have. So yeah, you absolutely need to reduce this a bit, okay? Let's move on. Okay. And also, obviously, I had to correct quite a bit of the grammar as well. So let's see what else you did here. Okay. Firstly, the anticipation by sports professionals and various preparation and practices show that people are still interested. The anticipation by sports and various preparation, that's awkward, various preparation, show that people are still interested in the Olympic events without the S there because it's an adjective. Meanwhile, more countries are still showing interest in participating in the competitions at various levels. All right, okay, let's keep going. Secondly, new games and activities are added regularly to make the program more interesting and enjoyable. All right, I'm very confused here, Amimbola. Let me tell you why. I don't understand where your paragraphs begin and where they end. Okay, I pretty much figured out that this is where this paragraph ended because, you had your thesis statement and then you started this sentence with firstly, so I assume that this is a new paragraph. I don't know where this one begins. I don't know where this one ends, so I'm really rather confused. Now, it probably doesn't seem like a big deal, but this is going to dramatically reduce your score for coherence and cohesion because there's no paragraphing, all right? And paragraphing is very important in task 2. So let's assume that this is where this paragraph ends because, I don't know, I guess it looks kind of like it could. This isn't really a paragraph. It reads more like a list. So you've got this firstly, meanwhile, secondly, and then that's it. So it's very underdeveloped and it's not really following the template. Remember that you're supposed to have numerous elements to make this a paragraph. You're supposed to have main ideas, you're supposed to have support for your ideas, and I don't really see that. It just feels like it reads like a list, okay? So, the economic value of the Olympics cannot be overlooked when one considers the rate and the amount of money most countries pay in their attempt to host a program. Hosting the events, firstly, will boost the aviation ministry. The ministry or the industry? That confuses me. I think you mean the aviation industry. As participants, sports lovers, and visitors fly, with a Y, to the country from all over the world to witness the games. Secondly, various hotels and motels, Secondly, various hotels and businesses will enjoy large patronage as people book and make reservation for accommodation. In addition, tourist attraction centers will equally experience the money boom as most people will visit such places to relax and purchase things. Lastly, hosting the Olympics enhances infrastructure development as the Olympic Committee has a high standard set for any country that is interested in hosting the event. Okay, if this is in fact where your paragraph started, it was definitely far more developed than your previous paragraph, but still, I still think you could have said a little bit, not a little bit more. I think here's what you did. It felt to me that you had too many main ideas. You really need to limit yourself to 2 main ideas, but just make sure that you support them well, okay? So, like here you mentioned the aviation industry. All right, great. Well, why is that important? All right, why do we care? How does that make the Olympics relevant and important in the 21st century? The aviation industry is just one of many. So explain to me why you think this is so important. All right, that's one thing. So yeah, I mean, you really should have put this maybe under everything dealing with tourism will experience a boom or something like that. And then you could have provided a couple of examples. So again, these 2 need a little work. Let's look at your conclusion now. In conclusion, from the infrastructural development of the host country to the economic advantages of the Olympics and the excitement of both the participant and the observers. What? That's not a sentence. That's not a sentence. It's a fragment. Unless you have a comma here. I strongly disagree that the Olympics, have no more value in the 21st century. All right, Amimbola, it's definitely got some problems. You need to correct these problems. You need to revise it a little bit, correct it based on my suggestions today, and then send it back to us, okay? I'm hoping you'll do that, and I'm hoping that I'll see some of these suggestions applied in your next set of essays, all right? So go ahead and get that started, and let's meet back here with your next set. Good luck.